Well, I don't want that Kleenex in my... I know, I don't either.
I got you.
You got my back. Okay. All right. Hi, my name is Mary, and I was born in California on May 29th, 1962. I moved around a lot as a kid. Had wonderful parents, separately, but together they fought a lot, and ultimately divorced when I was probably about 10. So I was back and forth from Texas to Colorado, where we had moved, and I grew up in Colorado. But I spent a lot of time back and forth on airplanes, and I love both my parents very much, but it was hard on me as a kid, so I think that's probably when I kind of rebelled a little bit, especially as a preteen and teenager. And when I was in high school, I was pretty wild. I was kind of an instigator. I would take my dad's car and take all my friends out, and he owned a business. He had a restaurant, so all of my friends worked for him, and so I had a group that I hung around with, and we did some drinking, quite a bit of drinking. That calmed down. I got married at 18, and settled down for quite a while. However, my husband had numerous affairs and that kind of thing, and it was really hard for me. I did have 2 daughters out of my marriage, and things got pretty bad, and we'd moved back to Colorado and from Texas, and I met somebody else that was quite a drinker, and I participated with him. I became quite a drinker as well. Anyway, things didn't work out there. It turned out that he was cheating on me as well, and so I was single for a while and sober at that point in time. So later on, as old as I am now, I managed to stay away from some hardcore drugs. I had some back issues, and got into hydrocodone was my drug of choice, and I took it every day for quite some time. I think that's probably what got me started on the harder stuff. And my very last relationship, I was introduced to meth, and started smoking that. Bad stuff, hard stuff. And I did that probably every day for months. I had money coming in. Well, he passed away, and that was really hard. I'm gonna cry. But it was really hard on me, so, and I miss him. But he wanted to stop using. I didn't. I really didn't, because I was so addicted at that point. And so when I lost him, it got even worse. I didn't care anymore. I didn't really have many friends in this place where we lived, in this small town in Kansas. I didn't know too many people. I did know the drug dealer. And so every month I was able to afford enough to keep me high. I wasn't crazy high, but I was high, and I was using, and I was very embarrassed about it. I didn't want people to know. So I did try to hide it. Thank you. And I had a house, I had a roof over my head, I had nice things. I had a car, I had everything I needed, but I was lonely, and that drug was my best friend, and maybe my only friend for a long time. So I had a house fire, and my house went up in flames. And one night, about 2 o'clock in the morning, I woke up, and all I could see was fire and smoke, and I didn't even think about it. I didn't think to grab anything. On my way out, all I could think was, I needed to get out. And so I ran down the road and found somebody to call the fire department, and I was using, I think by the time the fire happened, I was broke. So I couldn't use for a while, and I couldn't find anything. I couldn't find my IDs or my, it was a mess. I started sleeping, and we had an open garage, and I slept there for a while, and I would just walk around town at night. And like I said, it was a rural area, so it wasn't that it was unsafe. It was just stupid walking around like that. But
You're doing wonderful. Yeah.
thanks. I'm sorry. I'm crying. So emotional. Okay, maybe we should take it away from me. I'll put it in my pocket. How's that? There, out of sight, out of mind. And at that point, the hospital, they dealt with me pretty much by saying, we're going to make a phone call for you. They knew I was trying to find a shelter or somewhere to go. And so I didn't know who was coming to pick me up or what was going on, but they said something about Wiseman Ministries. And I said, okay. And this wonderful gentleman named Tim picked me up from the hospital in my paper suit because I had no clothes. They gave me one of those doctor's suits to put on, so I was wearing paper pants, paper shirt. I did have some flip-flops on. And so he brought me to Wiseman Ministries, the home there, where I reside now. And it changed my life completely. I read this book, and it was a little bitty book called Acceptance. And I read that book, and I went, wow, I just needed to put God in the driver's seat. I just needed Him to take control. I knew I couldn't do it alone anymore. So when I surrendered and realized that I'm giving it all over to God, it changed my life, and for the better. And anybody out there, I would say that if you're looking, if you're lost, if you're lonely, if you're hurt in any way, just turn it all over to God. Just surrender it all. Give it all to Him, because it's amazing what He can do for you, and He will never leave you. Don't believe that you don't have anybody there. You always do. He's watching over you like He did for me, and I am forever grateful. And it's changed my life. He's changed my life. Yeah.